This is the second game now of a best of 3. The quarterfinals of Go for SC2 Monday. And on Habitation Station, spawning in the top left hand position, we have the red Zerg player representing Team Acer, Bly. And his opponent, to the top right, the blue Protoss representing CSC, Zeth. For the moment, Bly is 1 game up. That means if he wins this, he advances into the semi-finals. These two clearly know each other, with a lot of banter going on, and that's always good fun. Both kind of playing each other out, both saying, if you hatch first, I'll cannon rush you, and then Bly did hatch first, and then he went for speedlings. Is Bly gonna go for that 15 hatch? Is Zeth gonna go for the cannon rush like he says? This is like a crazy thing going on. So, oh, the Wellmu cannon rush. For those of you who don't know the Wellmu cannon rush, you put a forge here, a pylon, a forge, a pylon, and then you just laugh as it's a pylon, a forge, a cannon or something. It's around here. I can't remember exactly the positioning, but Bly, he's like, I'm checking my ramp now. I know you're gonna try something. Probe sneaking down the bottom, gonna be coming through. Waking steadily to go and see what's happening. Up he goes. Little probe, where's the Overlord? The Overlord sees. He's like, I see you, probe. What are you doing? The hatch is like, I see you, probe as well. Down comes one drone. This drone's like, something sneaky's happening. What's happening? You're cannon rushing me. In come all of these pylons. There's still a gap though. The probe can still die. The probe has to dance around a little bit. Quickly walling inside this poor little drone. Cannon already getting started up. The probe is going to die. No probe. Oh, the poor probe. Okay, the cannon will finish now. Bit annoying. It should finish. Actually, it may not. That pylon is getting exceptionally low. This is a big investment for one cannon. Like, ridiculously tense. And that cannon probably isn't going to be able to do too much. May not even be able to kill it should kill a drone. Bly's defended this beautifully. This was such a huge investment. Bly is in a fantastic spot right now. I know that seems really anticlimactic, and I'm sorry for that, but the reason this is so good for Bly is because Zeth spent 400 minerals on pylons and an extra 150 minerals on a cannon. 550 minerals. And that's going to be a big investment. Like, that's over the cost of this natural nexus. His gateway is only just starting now. Sure, he has a defensive cannon, but Bly, he can just drone now if he wants to. Relentlessly. These 3 pylons, yeah, sure. They're getting some vision. They're like, you got some drones. I know what you got. But that's really it. This is really awkward for Zeth. I'm trying to think creatively, what could Zeth do? And his best bet at this stage is buy time. Buy time and try and deny a 3rd base. That probably is his only realistic option with how things stand, because if he tries to go for a 2-base play, it's so massively delayed that if it's an all-in, Bly should have enough to defend it. These pylons are getting taken down, so that's nice work by Bly. Potentially by taking down these pylons, just with the queens that are going to be here anyway, you may supply block your opponent. Down comes the gold base as well. A gold base getting taken is always really good for you, because Bly can safely do this. Quite a lot of Zerg players will try for the gold anyway, but Bly is in a really safe spot because of this investment early on and the delay on things like the forge, on the gateway and cybercore. You just no way you can threaten that realistically as Zeth in this position. Down these pylons started going, more getting made though up in Zeth's main, so he is replacing them. But of course, he's having to replace them with more minerals, spending that money down when he doesn't really want to. And that's, again, just a little bit annoying. Got one lone Zealot wandering up here. Where is the Zerglings? Or Zergling? Only one of them. Zeth just predominantly using the Zealot in order to check things. Trying to find out where things are going. Quick little takedown of that pylon. Dead and gone. Meanwhile, Roach 1 plus going up to 4 gases. Okay, this is a bit more unusual, 4 gases. If it was 3 gases, I'd just straight away say this is really aggressive Roach play. 4 gases, we may be seeing some Hydralisks pretty quick. We could be seeing 2 base Muta, although that would mean this Roach 1 is purely there as a what if. Mutalisks could be a right nuisance to deal with, just because you know that Zeth won't have too much in the way of anti-air. But with Burrow, this should be a big Roach play for the most part. Sentry now, busy taking down this Overlord who's seeing all of the things right now. He knows about these additional gates. And that's really all Zeth has up his sleeve. He doesn't have any tech. He doesn't have anything else sneaky. He has 3 gateways. Or is about to have 3 gateways. That's it. Anyway, over at Bly's side, still got some good droning going. Adding in that Hydralisk Den, adding in the Roach speed. So it's all piecing together at the moment for good old Mr. Bly. Zeth, though, taking a bold move. He's aiming for that gold base. And this is the sort of crazy yet brilliant thing you have to do when you're behind at this level of StarCraft 2. If you're behind, you've got to take risks. You have to find some corners you can cut to catch back up. And by cutting those corners, you make yourself a bit vulnerable. But if the natural is, or if the gold base isn't found, for whatever reason, I think Bly should spot it. It's like, yeah, he's going to send a link up there. If this is found, it's harder to hold. And that can be a problem. Roach is coming on over now. Note that the sentry count is alright, but there's just no support for them. So they can't safely move out either. Gonna probably just have to cancel that third. Does go and cancel it down. Zeth clearly not too happy about that gold base. Or maybe not too happy about Bly's gold base. Bly's got like a really good income of 60 drones at the moment. So that's always a bit of a pain. +1, finish for Zeth, and he does have a Photon Overcharge as well as a lot of sentries. So in theory he can hold this ramp for a hell of a long time. But it's what benefit there is to them. Can he get out the Immortals? Can he get up that solid defense that he needs in order to stop this tide of roaches flooding forward? Couple of roaches gonna get donated to the Zeth Fund of Dead Units. Always nice there with Bly. That was actually the first, well, no it wasn't. A Zealot died and a couple of probes. I was gonna say, I thought that was the first offensive unit to die. Wasn't even for Bly, he lost some links earlier. Still, Zeth having to sit here and going, shall I move down this ramp? And this is what Zeth sees. Units. And he's like, I probably shouldn't. That'll be a big concave and I'll die. I'll just chill up here. Up at my side of the ramp, hoping things are good. Behind this, Spire coming through now. For Zeth. For Bly rather. So he could be going up into some Mutas, maybe Corruptors, in case Colossi are on their way. He's also got a 4th base on its way through. But the main thing that Bly's looking for is just to get a huge concave. Should there be an attempt by Zeth to move out. And he has just pre-positioned his units and pre-split his units where he can encase any movement down that ramp. Spire nearly done. Tunneling Claws also nearly finished. Plus a lot more Lings and Hydras making their way into this battle. An attempt here to engage, and Bly may have to go for this, but the force fields are pretty damn good. Backing away, extended thermal lance not done for this Colossus, so it can't outrange it easily. But with some good force fields, Bly being forced back. Resources lost, still favouring Bly though. 1600 to 1700. Not a massive difference, but remember the incomes. Bly, he's a long way ahead there. But Zeth, he's building up, slowly but steadily, a very scary force. Keeps trying to bait these units forward so he can get some good force fields. Loses a sentry, that isn't ideal, and Bly moving in for this. If he goes for the Mothership Core, that'd be a pain. Manages to snipe it, that means no Photon Overcharge. The sentries getting demolished. The Colossus and the Mortals, they're racking up a fair few kills and a good amount of damage. But the sentry count has plummeted. 7 killed, that's a lot of gas off of 2 bases you can't afford to be losing. And Bly continues pushing on forward. The second Colossus pops, and it couldn't have been a moment later. May now be able to hold this off, but it's going to be so hard. And if he does, the follow-up push is going to be even more scary. 1 Colossus falls, 1 Immortal falls, and nearly all of the sentries lay destroyed. Bly, he's in a great position. He's adding in more roaches. not even bothering with anything but that Roach key. A couple of Corruptors, just for good measure in case there are more Colossi coming. But it's actually more Immortals that are making their way to the field. So, sure, this Colossus healing isn't going to last for very long. But Bly, he's in a very strong spot. He's even expanding over to his opponent's side of the base. Quicker reinforcements, ninja expansions, they're always good. But Bly, he's preparing for the death blow. Ready to move forward. There is an observer out. Where is it with the army? Okay, so the observer is with the army. We'll be able to see those roaches as they burrow. But it means those force fields can't do too much. Backing out those roaches to safety, baiting more of those force fields. Resources lost. Still, well, actually just favouring Zeth now, but not by too much. He's doing a great job of holding on and is desperately trying to secure up that third base. Bly, though, preparing to go from multiple angles, waiting to push in with the roaches, coming from the flank with the Corruptors. He wants that Colossus dead, and he's going to be trying to get it. Corruptors still moving their way forward, only a couple of Stalkers there. Patience, patience, in comes Bly now. He's going to be going forward. A couple of roaches from the flank. The force field's not that many of them, and the Colossus will go down. The Immortal's getting out some good damage. Four still stand on the field, but will they be able to stop this tide of roaches? Force fields are alright, but up come the roaches now, hugging in close. Going to be focusing those Immortals ASAP. The sentries, they're dying as well. So much damage being done by Bly here, but still, Zeth manages to hold for the moment. Just loses a couple more sentries there with these roaches still poking, prodding, and picking away. Bly not making this too easy for himself. Or rather, Zeth not making it too easy for Bly. He's still holding. He's got his third base, but not mining from it yet. Trying to transfer down some probes, but there's some very brave probes. These are the sort of probes who got told by the Protoss big bosses, they're like, if you go to this dangerous third outpost to mine minerals, we will pay you 10 times the normal wage. And they're going for it. They think they're protected by these Immortals and Stalkers and Sentries, but what can they do? They answer quite a lot. These roaches, yet again, pushed back. The Immortals are the real powerhouses, though. Look at the kills they're racking up between them. The damage they're pushing out. Bly, though, able to catch some units on creep, sniping down those sentries pretty quick and just running straight through with a lot of these roaches. The Muta count at 12. Trying to pick off any of the anti-air, because the Immortals, they're no good when you've got a lot of Mutas out. They're no good when you can just start wearing them away. And seeing that flock of Mutalisks, GG is cool. And Bly takes this series 2-0.